Hello, hello, hello. Wow, this has been a day for setup. As you can see, the overhead camera is on the boom, but I have not figured out this. So, welcome to tutorial week, day one. Maybe by the end of the week, I'll figure out what to do with this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But anyway, today is our first tutorial week. And we are basically going to be doing something fun every week or every day this week. I'm going to pop on the screen. Maybe. This here is our schedule. I have it in my Canva because I did not make it bigger. So today we are going to be doing make a tiny door. The images that are in the marketing pieces that I'm doing are might not be what we're making, but it'll be very similar. So we are doing a 7 days of art tutorials. So I hope you guys join me every day. We will be doing today is tiny doors. Tomorrow we're going to be doing watercolor. Um, on Wednesday we're doing pointillisms with shades of color, kind of like a color theory concept. And let's see, Thursday we're doing needle felting. Friday, we're doing alcohol ink on glass. Saturday, we'll be doing paper quilling. And Sunday, we'll be doing an acrylic painting. So that's what we have scheduled for this week. I will have the marketing pieces out. This has just been a crazy weekend. I didn't really do any work yesterday. So let's get into the video. I'm going to change Okay, well, I don't know that any of that recorded my sound, so let me do so enjoy some music from previously. Let me go back to that and I'm gonna I just realized that I did not add that microphone to that scene. Let's go back. Okay, now you can probably hear me on this scene. Sorry. It's it's always the case that something messes up. Oh, yeah, this is live. Welcome. Welcome back. Let me see. Okay. All right, we're back live. Okay, great. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, now that we're back on this view and we have a mic working, and I've fixed all the sound, we can get back into this. Now, what I was saying was that you need to pull out paint out of the little paint cups to mix them. Place those paints on your palette and clean your brush in between. That's basically what I was saying. And yeah, so sorry about that. So the kit has this is the door. You get a wood door, embellishments, a doorknob, a stick for glue, paint, glue, which will be in here, a paper palette, and a couple paint brushes. The only thing that does not come in our kit is a cup of water and paper towels. I mean, I could just include paper towels, but maybe I'll just start including that. Um, in this case, I am going to make like a turquoisey color. So I'm going to take a little bit of yellow into this blue and turn it to green a little bit. And I'm just going to work it over to this white paint and lighten it up. So, of course, also if you were to purchase our kit comes with a color wheel too. But yellow and blue make green. So I'm going to scoop out some more yellow and add that to here. Two equal parts of the blue and the yellow will give you pretty much straight green. And when you add a little more yellow to it, it will turn a little bit more turquoisey. So I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. I'm trying to clean my brush in between so I don't add yellow or green paint to the yellow pot. So I'm going to skip some up here. And it's going to be more of a turquoisey color. Okay. So when you paint your tiny door, you want your tiny door to be a nice even coat of paint. I tend to start in the middle and I work my way to the outside edge and pull it up this way and pull it out to the sides, and that just helps. Now you can paint all the way around. For the sake of this tutorial, I will not be painting all the way around. I'm just going to add in some colors here onto the door. Like I said, just take it to the outside edge, and this gives you a cleaner edge. And the brushes that we include in our kit, or I mean, you can use whatever you have. If you wanted to go out and buy these supplies, you could, or you can order the kits on our website. Um, this isn't as turquoise as I wanted it, but it will do. It will do for the sake of the tutorial video. And I only have a little bit of time, so I am going to rush through painting this today. My day has not gone the way I wanted it, as always, it seems like. And yeah, so I'm just going to do this and to make a nice even coat. And you paint the tiny door first. Now, because you want this to dry before you put all your embellishments on it, let me switch it around in my hand. And that way, when you glue your embellishments on, they will adhere a lot easier. Now, of course, if you want, you can go all the way around the edges and paint the back of your tiny door too. But for the sake of this tutorial and making it a little bit faster, we're just going to do one side, nice even coat. I mean, if you see, this is already drying up here. This is pretty thirsty wood, I have to tell you, that we do not pre-prime the wood in our kits. And if you were to buy straight wood at a store, it's most likely not going to be primed. So it will soak the paint up pretty quick. So it will dry faster that way as well. Yeah, so there we got a nice greenish door. I'm going to clean my brush and try to wipe some paint off my hands, but paint happens. I clean up my brush. A clean brush is a happy brush, guys. So when you do paint, always clean your brushes in between and reshape them so they'll be ready to go. Now what we're going to do while this is drying, we're going to put it to the side. Push this one over here. We're going to push this one to the side. And we're going to paint all of our embellishments. Now you could take, and if you want to protect your surface, you can put a paper towel underneath these or a little piece of paper. So I have 3 large circles, 3 smaller circles, and a little cat that will be black. And for the cat, I'm going to go ahead and paint the cat. It's going to take just a bit of time. There is in our kits, we have a small brush and a larger brush. I suggest if you already have brushes, just go ahead and use a small brush and a large brush. The larger the brush, the for larger items to paint, and a smaller brush, you want to use that to paint tinier things. So what I would like to do is paint all my tiny embellishments with a tiny brush, and I'm gonna go these embellishments are laser cut, and like this one here has details on the eyes, and I'm gonna try to go around the details as much as I can, and then leave the eyes so I can paint them green because our cat has green eyes. Our cat's name is Onyx, and he's pretty much um, kind of like our studio mascot. He's a studio cat. And you're just going to go in and lightly paint it. You don't have to paint it really heavy, thick paint. Thicker the paint, the longer it takes it to dry. So And of course, you can paint around the edges if you want. You don't have to paint the back of any of the embellishment pieces because they're going to get glued down. Now, in the case of this tiny door, oh, I don't want to mess it up. This tiny door, I have the pieces off the edge. So I did paint the back of them a different color or the same color. So these are actually off the edge. So if that's the case, then you'll paint the backs. But in this case, we're not going to paint the back of this tiny door or the embellishments. Maybe I'll paint the back of it later, but not tonight. For this video. You can do that another time. Um, I'm just going to go and paint all the way down to wherever I'm holding it and try to get as much of it done in one hold and then switch it. I'm going to leave a little nose there. We're going to give, well, actually, Onyx has a black nose too. We're just going to cover up the nose because you're never going to see that. Just wanted the eyes to stand out. So we've got those there. All right. So we've got our black cat. Just nice even coat of paint. And then I'm going to paint the little tiny piece that I was holding. Just run over it with one more little brush across. And our cat is painted. So we're going to put that one to the side. Clean out your brushes. Clean out your brushes. Number one thing to do. Okay. So while I've got him there, I have this paint from the green that we put on the door, and I'm just going to go ahead and give him a little bit of green eyes. Since I have that paint ready to go. I'm not going to hold him for this because I want it to be a little steadier with my hand. Let's get little green eyes. Now you can paint your tiny doors with paint markers, which sometimes are a little easier when you're doing a little bit more detail work and such. Um, these little tiny embellishments, you can definitely use a little tiny paint marker or even micron pens work really well on the wood too. I'm just going to go in and edge the eyes. So whatever you're painting with, you just want to make sure that it's easy to use for you. Okay, we got a little cat with green eyes. Okay, clean the brush, wipe that excess water. Now the little circles, we are gonna paint them. I think I'm gonna actually go ahead and just paint them orange. So I'm gonna make my orange mix. I'm gonna grab some red, put it on my paint palette. Clean out my brush. It doesn't take a lot of paint to paint all your little embellishments. So just keep that in mind when you mix your colors. It doesn't take a lot. So I'm going to make some orange here. trying to watch my time. So we've got some orange. And I'm going to paint the larger ones with the orange. And I work from the middle out, kind of like a sunshine kind of thing. You might get paint on your fingers. Now, if you don't like that, wear some gloves. Um, but this paint will wash off on your skin. It is acrylic paint, but you don't want to get it on your clothes. So if you wanted to wear an apron to paint, you could do that too. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and go around the edge. And yes, it's going to get on my fingers, but that's okay. It's going to have to. And once I get all that done, then we have one orange one. We're going to paint the other one. And like I said, these are going to go flat on there, so the backs aren't really going to matter what color they are. So if you get just random paint on the back, it's fine. And around the edge. And it doesn't have to take long. I mean, you could go into way more detail than what I'm doing. A lot of people do um, in our events and such. They go into nice ombre looks or different details onto pieces. But in this case, I am just painting them orange. Work from the middle out to the edges. Just makes it a lot easier to spread the paint. Just do that. Just want to make sure that I have it all the way around. And then one more brush over. Nice thin coats. They dry a lot faster. Now, these three here, I'm going to do a little bit more of a contrast color in there. So I'm going to clean this brush out and I'm going to make them, hopefully I have enough white in this. I'm going to make them lighter orange. So I want to grab some white, a scoop of the white, put it here on the orange that I already have, just to make another tone of orange. Wipe some of that extra stuff off. And I just want it to be a lighter orange. Now, if I wanted to make it a little bit brighter orange, I'm going to grab this other brush, just dip out some more yellow and add that to it. It'll just be a little bit peachier. I don't suggest getting your paint all over all over your brush like this, but it is. So the paint on my fingers are already dry. This is acrylic paint. It dries fast, you guys. Dries fast. These are just going to be like a very light peach color. Working the way from the middle out. And touch the edges. I have paint all over my fingers, but that's fine. It's just paint. Well, don't drop your piece like that. I'm trying to wiggle it around too much, I guess. All right. So we have a peachy one. I'm going to do another one. Like I said, you can go as detailed as you want for your tiny door, but this one, I'm kind of aiming it towards like a mid-century kind of feel door. In our preview was an actual mid-century door that we had. It's actually um, that one was sold, so we don't have that one here to show anymore. And we're all out of stock of that style currently. So I thought I would do my original mid-century door, which is what I call the pop door, and it comes with the circles. And now that we have the black cats, it comes with a black cat, or we have the cat cutouts. So, so we're always evolving our supplies. It's always changing, and we're getting in new supplies all the time. So, so that's the paint. Now, these paint brushes just need to be cleaned up, and you can keep them in your art room collection. So if you were to purchase the tiny door kit, it comes in a box that can be used over and over and over. And it's like a little supply box. So I'm going to put that there. I do have quite a mess on my fingers. So I'm just going to try to wipe some of that paint off my fingers right now. Now, if you wanted to have wet paper towels, you could. Just don't. I could just wet paper towels over here. I have some water here, and or if you have little wipes, you could do that too. Kind of spilled it on my leg. It's cold. Um, so yeah, it comes off pretty easy. So you can just clean your hands, and that's gonna dry for just a second or two, and we didn't paint the doorknob yet. Why am I cleaning my hands? Oh no. I should have waited. Clean my hands. I'll clean them again. All right, the doorknob. This little tiny piece is the doorknob. And I'm going to use the tiny brush and move my paper towels around here. And reshape this brush. The doorknob, I think I'm just going to, I'm going to wet that a little bit. Take some of the orange and do the doorknob too. So it kind of blends in. It's like a hidden doorknob. And just paint the doorknob like everything else. And then clean your hands again. And tinier the things, the tinier the brush. In this case, these doorknobs have a little edge to them because they lift off the door just like you would think a doorknob would. So you don't have to paint the bottom, but do try to paint around the edge. Yeah. All right, doorknobs painted. Clean the brush, clean your fingers, and get ready for glue. So I reshape my brush, clean my fingers again. Now we're just going to get ready to glue everything on. While it's drying, don't forget to drink something. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is Monday. It has been a typical Monday for me, or at least for the art studio and me. I did move all the equipment around this morning. Fun. Okay, so my fingers are clean. The door's ready to assemble. Just gonna clean fingers over here. Got paint there too. And the wood pieces should be dry. Now you also want to close your paint. It will snap when you close them. See if you guys can hear it snap. Sometimes it's a little difficult to snap them, but they will snap, so they will close back, and you might have some paint left over you can use for another project. Snap, snap, snap. So you're going to give them a good press and put those aside. Now we have this little stick for glue. Yep, got that paint on here. And in this case, my paints here, these are actually some that I had set up a long time ago, so that's kind of dried out. So you do want to use your products as soon as possible when you receive any boxes from us. But it doesn't take a lot of glue. It's literally a little bit of glue. There's a little stick. You can use a popsicle stick, or we have these little tiny craft sticks, and they have a pointed end and a rounded end. And here's our door. These pieces are already dry. You can tell because they're not shiny anymore and they're ready to go on. Now you want to maybe design out your door before we can move the water cup. We're done with that. We're done with the paint. Let's move that stuff out of the way a little bit. And we're done with the paper towels and the paintbrushes. I put the little touch of glue right here. So when designing out your door, you can do all different things. In this case, I think I'm gonna zigzag these little pieces around on the door. I might even double up. I could double them. You could off center them. Oh, maybe I'll off center them like this. Kind of like that. Stack them on here. Oh, I kind of like this. I think I'm going to go with that. That's cute, right? And then we have our black cat who's going to sit here like this. I think I'm going to do it like this. Now, in the kits, we also have these front porches. So you want to make sure you don't put your embellishments too close to the bottom. But if you just have these at home and you want to make this on your own, you could use like a little Jenga block or little blocks of wood from um, like Dollar Tree or something. So you're going to build from the bottom up. So I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to take this one, and you're going to build from the top down. And you just have to basically take the glue and do a nice thin layer of glue on here. It does not take a lot. Just going to apply the glue right on the piece. Give it a little swirl. Nice even coat. And when you do a nice even coat, it won't you won't have that glue ooze is what I call it. Maybe I want this to go here and just push it down. And it's on. You don't have to move it again. And we're layering. So I'm going to take this one and put the glue on there, give it a little swirl, take any extra off. Okay. And I think I'll put this one off to the side this direction. And you don't have to cover up the whole thing if you're overlapping these because there's going to be a little gap there, but that's fine. You just want to stick it on there and it will stay. So this one here from the bottom, always work from the top of the door to the bottom, and the layers you want to work from the bottom layer to the top. Just needs a little bit of glue. Take off any extra. So you can see it's just a little bit. You don't have to have a lot. In this case, we're going to stick it on there. Ooh, it slid a little bit, but that's all right. Give it a press. This one here, I'm going to have it go this direction. So I'll just put the glue on the one side that it's going to touch. Take any extra off. It's going to touch right here. Just stick it on. If you get glue ooze right on the edge, you can just take your fingernail and go across, or to use the tip of the glue stick. All right, so now we have two things here we're going to add to this one. So we're going to take the top ones off and then add the bottom. A little bit of glue. It's almost going to be right in the middle. Stick it on. Just a little bit where it's going to touch. Now, what do you do with a tiny door? We get asked that question all the time. What do you do with it? Well, you can do all kinds of things with it. The tooth fairy really loves the tiny doors because it's an easy access. And, you can put it in your house. You can put it outside. If you do put the tiny doors outside, I highly suggest that you use a clear coat. I'm going to get a touch more glue. You can get clear coat. You can get it at the craft store or other stores where they sell like spray paint. And yeah, you can clear coat it and then you can put it outside. And there's our little tiny door. Now this one is not as detailed as some of them. Oh, I forgot to put the doorknob on. That's what I forgot to put. Sorry, live television here or live YouTube here. I'm going to put a little extra. The doorknobs are a little bit heavier, so put a little extra glue there, but not too much. You don't want too much glue ooze because it's hard to get underneath there. Let's put the doorknob back on and just give it a press. Press and hold, and then it's on there. All right. So there's our little tiny door. Quick and easy way to make a little miniature door. And I hope you like the tutorial. It's a lot of fun and it's a simple way to do this. And like I said, you can go as fancy as you want. These are more detail painted on these. And this one is, oops, sorry, get the focus back on. This is one that I made a while back. So, so there it is. This is a simple little tiny door. It is like a mid-century door. And yeah, if you're interested in purchasing our kits for tiny doors, the um, the kits are all different ones and they come with random pieces unless you specifically want a special design. You can let us know that. But everything you need is in the kit. And if you don't have to purchase the kit, you can go out and buy the supplies on your own as well. So this is how to make a cute little tiny door. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for you guys tuning in today to this tutorial. Um, and we also got a new subscriber. So thank you so much for the person that's our newest subscriber. We really appreciate all of our subscribers. And if you're interested in subscribing, you can check out the little button, hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and don't forget to like this video and share it. Um, every day this week, I'm going to try to go back to the schedule. We will be doing here, let's go back to the other screen. Boop. There I am. Hello. We'll put this one up too. So there's the overhead. That's what we just made. And as far as um, our schedule this week, I'm going to put that up on the screen too. So we will be doing, we just did tiny doors, the very first one. We will be doing watercolor on paper tomorrow. If you want to get the supply list for these classes that are going on, tutorial classes that are going on this week, I will be posting them on our website and on Instagram. And I'll probably do a post here as well on YouTube. But with that being said, this is it today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We made a cute little tiny door. And yeah, this is day one of tutorial week. So, with that being said, we're going to go for now. And we will see you again tomorrow. Now, this is day 82. We do come on live here every single day. So, we will see you later. So, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good evening, whatever time you might be watching this video. I really appreciate you stopping in. And don't forget, send me a message, comment, let me know what you want to make. If you don't see it on the list, let us know. We'll do it again. Okay, bye bye. Where's the camera? There's too many cameras in here. All right. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. Watercolor tomorrow.